Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everybody. So just a few questions about me and the accelerator I run. Basically, Fashion Technology Accelerator is one of the most important European accelerator that is vertically focused on fashion tech. So we have today about 21 startups in our portfolio that we work with. And we are seeing more than 1,000 fashion tech startups in the last few years. So what I'm presenting today is a bit of the observatory that we have. And Robin has explained the different technologies applied to how these different technologies can be applied to the industry. And I totally agree that technology are definitely here already. But I will show you now the perspective coming from the fashion customer. So how, if we look at ourselves as how we consume fashion, we can see that there are different evolutions that are present on the market. So those are some of the words that maybe sound familiar to you, such as mobile, social, and millennials. And I think that starting from these first three words, several trends can be derived. And those are some of the trends that I've chosen. First is the personalization at scale. So how important is for customer to be perceived as unique. The superior customer service, because today we feel that we want to have everything very quick and with a very optimized customer service. Automated commerce, what does it mean? It means that maybe we don't really want to go into the store and buy something and being in line for paying and so on, but maybe we want to have everything done for us. Social wave, this is, I think, self-explanatory. A mobile obsession. Yes, we have our mobile every time, and we expect our mobile to do so many stuff for us. And the last two, well, the digital supply chain is more related to the the corporate side, meaning that we expect the different operations that are inside the fashion chain to be more and more digitalized. And finally, for sure, the trends of sustainability and traceability. So let's go into details into each of them. Well, first of all, start with some numbers and some statistics. So context is everything. We want to enter into one store, and we expect or we wish that the sales assistant know exactly not only who we are, but maybe that we are entering to buy maybe a present for a friend or for my mother or whatever. And so we expect more and more the sales assistant to give us personalized suggestions, as we expect them when we enter into an online store. And it's not only, I mean, that this is something that will make us happy, but it's definitely something that will impact on the revenues of the corporates that are able to include this kind of proposal into their offering. And the solution is there because artificial intelligence and big data makes this possible. But yet it's still a bit something that takes time in order to be adopted by the different corporations. But one thing that has been, I think, adopted by several corporates today is the personalization more in terms of product. So if we go on different websites today, we have the possibility to personalize our pair of Gucci sneakers rather than the Nike sneakers and so on. But there are also other startups, well, former startups, I must say, such as Stitch Fix. Probably you know the company. They are based in the US. That started selling through subscription box that are based on AI algorithms that are able to know the interest from particular customers. Going to the second trends I want to present you today, the superior customer service. Well, I think that Amazon has created a lot of problems for all the other corporates that are trying to sell to customer, because they are, I mean, we can admit that they are actually providing all the possible desires, responding all the possible wishes to customer. 3 hours shipping, shipping through drones. No, no paying any return, and so on. And we can see here that, for instance, 90% of shoppers say that a convenient return and free shipping are one of the most important features during their online luxury shopping experience. So we are not talking about, you know, mass market, but also for luxury purchases. Even if we are spending, I don't know, 1,000 euro, still having free shipping is very important. So this means that customer support is very, very important. And also the, bad experience through the, with the customer service is still responsible for 59% of stop buying for a particular customer. So what can we do through technology? Where there are different options. For instance, there is one startup that is called Site AI, which is based on consumer vision. What does it mean? It means that they are able to recognize exactly which kind of dress is present in a picture. And so this service allow a customer to take a picture, send this picture to a sales assistant, and say, I would like this dress or a similar dress or a similar skirt in that case. And so the customer is expecting to have exactly that particular offer. Or we have, for instance, Harper Concierge, that is another startup that is proposing to ship the outfit to a customer home, and with the personal stylist in the car that is going to deliver the outfit both, and give some suggestions to the customer that is buying, and say, okay, I think this is good for you, this is good on you, so you can buy or return immediately what you have ordered. And then let's go to the automated commerce. So again, it's like that we expect really a genie from a lamp that is trying to address all the needs that we can have while we buy something. So it's not only really having an e-commerce website and buying something, but it's all related to the different aspect of buying something online. For instance, Finery is a startup that is able to automatically create a virtual wardrobe by scanning your purchase receipt. So why is that? Maybe it's useful for us to have a digital wardrobe where we will remember, okay, I still have a pair of black trousers and so on. Or Pouch is another startup that is able to find for you the best voucher for a particular category. Or Wivat. How many of you has ever done a tax refund process in the airport? How frustrating is it? Very much. I agree with you. And so Wivat is an app that is able to make that for you. On social wave, well, this is under everybody's eyes. So still talking about luxury, 75% of luxury purchases are influenced by what we see online, and especially on social media. And also, there is a lot of brand ambassadorship if we are able to make social media work in a good way. And influencer marketing, yeah, this is one of the biggest trends that we are seeing in the last few years. We can agree or not that the influencer market is something that we can trust, but still, it's all the brands, actually not only the major, are adopting, are using budget for influencer marketing. And so some application of through technology of these trends can be, for instance, Fly Trendy. This is a platform for to matchmaking brands and influencers, also micro influencers, because of course we know the most important, but then for brands it's also very interesting to know the specific influencer that can be more suitable for that particular category or particular mood and so on. Or also, very interesting, also the this case study made by Tommy Hilfiger with a smart shirt, able to track the use of these clothes. That is something very interesting for a brand. But how they have motivated the customers to, give this data to the brand by providing some points and with some of the gamification approaches, let's say. Or as well, another one is Askurt, is a social-based consulting platform where a customer just going on an e-commerce website can directly through the e-commerce website send a message through WhatsApp or so on and ask for their friends to vote, should I buy or not my the little pink dress. And yeah, social media, the social wave is, again, is something that we see in all the country. You can see here some data about the different, how different is the time spent on social media by different countries. But still the absolute value are very high. And what is also very interesting for brands and also for new startups to take into account is that this is something real, and people expect a brand to be to engage customer on social media. So even if we are starting a business and we don't have too much time, we need to take into account that we want our customer to be engaged with our brand. And you can see that, for instance, in USA, 70% of customers expect to be engaged with brands on social media. Then the mobile obsession. Again, this is something that varies a bit across the different geographical area. We all know that Asia is quite far ahead concerning the mobile adoption, especially for online shopping. And I mean, until a few years ago, we were saying that the mobile was more something for in discovery and browsing, and not for the transaction as well, but this is changing. And actually, we can see that just in 2017, about 34.5% of the e-commerce was on mobile. So again, talking at the fashion designer in the room, if you are selling online, be sure that your mobile commerce works as well, because this is very important. And also, it's very interesting that a very high enough percentage, about 89% of retailers are planning to put a mobile solution for their store assistant in the next years. And so, for instance, this is one of the brand, Valentino, that has a very good mobile solution for sales assistant, that is able to know exactly who is the customer that is coming into the store, which are the previous purchases, and so able to suggest exactly, suggest potential outfit for potential interest of the particular customer that has entered into the store, can send messages and so on. Or also, IFI, well, actually is a infrastructure, let's say, that helps, that can allow physical store to be cashless. We have all seen the Amazon Go, but actually there are also other solutions that can be implemented to have a similar result. So I mean, it can be debatable, and not probably if we talk about luxury stores, maybe having no point of contact in the store is not something that we expect. But for more mass market stores, this is something that where efficiency is one of the most important drivers. This is something that can work. And the digital supply chain, going more into the corporate side. Well, I mean, the technology, again, the technology is there, but when we go talking with corporates presenting some solution coming from our startups, there's still a lot of work to do. Some of the corporates are still trying to insert RFID tag. That is a technology that was born like 30 years, if not very earlier than that. So it takes a bit of time to adopt new technology, but for sure there is a large awareness from corporates for the need of digitalizing all the different pieces of the supply chain. And those are some of the examples from the startup world. For instance, one is called OneTrade, and actually is based on blockchain. So basically, it helps track the different, the entire journey coming from the raw materials to the final interaction with the customers. Or Neuralia is another solution that helps track all the different activities of the customers within a store. So knowing exactly all the different information that we can gather from people entering our store. And finally, the sustainability and traceability trend. Well, Robin was mentioning this before. I totally agree that this is very, very important. I think it's no more just marketing, and we can see also that by data. So, for instance, 42% of 100 fashion brands interviewed by the article you can read on the footnote say that they were able to disclose the information. And so this means that they are getting prepared to disclose the information and so to be transparent. But also 66% of millennials are willing to spend more to buy sustainable brands. Okay. I also had some news coming from brands that are launching sustainable product, where they say that they actually registered a reduction of sales for a particular line. And it's a long process. I agree, it's not simple, but I think that there are also technology in this case can help. Here are some examples coming from a startup. One is the Good News is simply a platform that selects the most interesting sustainable labels. I think the Everlane case is very interesting because basically I don't know if you know this company. They are based in the US and they are based on transparent pricing. So what does it mean? It means that they show exactly which is the price they pay for all the different elements. So in this case, unfortunately, this cannot be read, but this is the cost of the shirt, and this is the cost of materials, transportation, production, and so on. And so it's very clear which is the markup of the company. So with that, I've ended my presentation. Several inputs. I hope that the fashion startups present here will be able to include some of these inputs. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Thank you very much.